Thank you very much. I am Laminjai. This is News Review. Thank you for being there. Today on the show, Dabo has broken his silence or reacted to President Adam Barrow's desecration of graves comments there. Mr. Dabo was speaking over the weekend. We have a story for you on that there, but also the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmadu Lamin Samate, for the first time speaks on women using tobacco, putting tobacco into their private part there. My guest today will be Dr. Alieu, Gibba, the chief or the head of the Faculty and Staff Association of the University of the Gambia. Today we will just look at the Standard and what they are reporting on today. Their lead story there saying Army moves to forestall planned protest by retirees. The High Command of the Gambia Armed Forces has reached out to some of its retirees in an effort to persuade them out of a planned protest scheduled for yesterday. According to information obtained by the Standard, more than 100 retirees of the Army's Intake 30 reportedly planned a peaceful protest march to demand for unpaid retirement benefits there. My Fati denies scam allegations. The GMC leader, My Ahmad Fati, has strongly denied reports that he scammed a man out of $346,000 over a land deal. On Sunday, a letter was circulated online showing a man, Haji Jete, giving power of attorney to his relative to lodge a complaint with police against the politician. Jete, a Gambian based in Spain, gave authority to his grandfather, Idrissa Jete, to lodge a complaint against Mr. Fati after accusing the former special advisor of obtaining money by false pretense. Haji alleged in his power of attorney that he gave Mr. Fati $345,000 for a plot of land when someone else owned the land there. But writing on his Facebook hours after the letter went viral, Mr. Fati said, "This paper is making the rounds, and because it's political season, our detractors believe they have a tool they can use. Note this one, the contents are false. There has never been any land transaction between me, My Ahmad Fati, and Haji Jete. Haji Jete did not pay any money to me. I did not sell any property to Haji Jete. If he claims to have a case, the media is not a court of law. There is a proper forum for legal disputes when controversies are determined, or where controversies are determined and enforceable. There are those who will stop at nothing in their attempt to destroy others. This is malicious representation. Is politically motivated to distract us. It has failed." That's My Fati speaking there. Judge rejects request to lower $8 million bail for theft suspects. A High Court judge has refused a request to lower an $8 million bail for 3 people accused of stealing more than $7 million from one Kutubo Jahale. The trio, Alassane Krubali, Alieu Tangara, and Yakuba Tangara, all Malians, are facing charges of conspiracy, breaking into a building and stealing. That is it there. For the Standard newspaper, we will take a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now, UDP leader Hussein Dawa has for the first time responded to claims there by President Adam Barrow that they desecrated graves and put charms in these graves in desperate bids to have Dabo released from prison in 2016. More in this report. President Barrow told NPP reporters last month they engaged the services of marabouts in desperate bids to have Dabo released from prison. The president said on 3 occasions they had to desecrate graves and place charms underneath the head of a corpse.
na molta bay jandi mi tala suto ndefro na soko do ma be nguran kan do mol ni kibiro na soko iko antele nyini la bisi se wol kono kamen fundira na mollo iko moro dole ko adebe ku kela usen dabo te sentence la sama nimme a sentence fana be fala court house iko nara ya wala bo moro ko malo nyanta ko tati tan ko 50000 iko ko nyanta wona jola ngoy ko dina na ko do bondo ngoy ko ngamori ko men ki asiata bak ngamori ko kele mele ala ko safeli e naati ngata ni mele ala ko leka bade ko kanta ikata ka safewol dina pour ye furel ko wulindi ka safe sare ko ngol deke ngalum do safe saba fure saba pour que ko wulindi ka
But Mr. Dabo, the man President Barrow said they did the Despicable Act 4, isn't impressed.
It's too dignified a position. Person may alone cover ko imanya na ya civilized. Come on. May alone cover ko they are so puerile, so boyish. You cannot look at it. You mo paras kuma balade. You cannot song mo ko tan le jutunna. You cannot song Ghana ko le jutunna. You cannot song Sierra ko le jutunna. You cannot song Senegal ko le jutunna. Cover ko tell the president ukasika kumo ko bonye nyoko ko tan sifa. Look at Mr. President, I appeal to you. Okay. But trivial things, look at the world and address the more important and pressing issues of the government people than going on to raising those nonsense things and kabaka.
The president's comments did not only cause shock, but even sparked a feud between imams in the country. Imam Boto said he commended the president for dismissing fetish and said all marabouts are liars. His comments then angered Imam Bakausu Fofana, who threatened to kill Imam Saidi over his comments. President Barrow told... Now, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmadu Lamin Samate, has been speaking for the very first time on the issue of women putting tobacco powder in their private part. More in this. Dr. Samate said he just recently learned about women putting tobacco in their private part. Some Gambian women reportedly put the tobacco substance in their private part for reasons that have remained a little bit of mystery. But the health minister, speaking in a video that has emerged online, said the act is dangerous.
Taba fana taba nyingwato ay mol batandi bake nde man tabala ko lon fo nyingwato bari kaka ko minke wolum muso do nata fonna shokono akay mol so to taba yolema fotumbol ka fintiye nyingwato kon do kara nga mol dani aliye mol dandala tabala kola taba dangerous tabakele yala kamuneke okay taba ni aje dol kala fala iko aka dia dol yele bari aka dula min jani aka je jani le pour je doya aka je jani le so aka konne so ninga je jani nin je konta because kala file je dete so ni wo konta budon na mari nyanta wulula koteke wakata wo konbe je so aka farale na farata yelo le ka bon ay bon ni alon ka ni wulo le yelo man killing ba wulo la silo sai wole farata kabaka nyine tabaka nyine so mbal danila wala nanko bi nali nyinka shake abeta bak anu nyinka ja sifa wobe continue la len ni musol tema banko kan mfon kata rawno inshallah.
The health minister's comments are consistent with reports women apply tobacco powder and other tobacco-related products on their private parts on the belief it swings their genitals and increases sexual pleasure. It is not known what... Welcome back. So now I'm joined by Dr. Alieu Gibba, the head of the Faculty and Staff Association of the University of the Gambia. Still, there are issues at the country's top learning institute in the country. Dr. Gibba is here to answer questions surrounding the varsity there. Dr. Gibba, thank you very much for joining me. You were here the other time regarding the Faculty and Staff Association threatening to go on a strike because you had wanted your management to do certain things. Here you are. I mean, the ministry and the government intervened, and then you aborted that. Some of your demands were met. But what we have seen is that still you have issues with the management. You want the registrar to go. You are saying that his term has ended. You even went to the extent of writing to the Vice Chancellor, notifying him of this.
Yes, thank you, Lamin. It's a pleasure to be here once again, and I thank your team. Yes, as you already know, on the July 1st, we embarked on a sit-down strike that was very genuine for the Gambians. So we all gathered, I forgot the date, and the student union leader went and then gathered all stakeholders, including the head of civil service. He was there representing the office of the president as the chancellor, and the student leader was there, and then National Assembly Select Committee on Education was represented by Honorable Sidia Jata, and then we have the permanent secretary of Ministry of Higher Education and myself.
Yes.
So we were there from the afternoon to 9 p.m. to discuss about each agenda point. So we finally, we discussed a lot of things, and then including the most important point, constituting the governing council, because the governing council that was there was an interim one, which was there for a period of 4 years, and we all know an interim cannot go beyond 4 years, 6 months, sometimes 1 year, sorry.
Yes.
So we demanded for it to be dissolved because it's very important. It's about the governance of the university. We have learned our lesson for the past 5 years because of the governing council. So we agreed in principle that it's going to be dissolved, and then we all signed the resolutions. All those parties have mentioned, which means now it's legally binding. So the 26th of July was given to them that, okay, we'll dissolve and come up with a new governing council. Since then, we have not been written to, and I have called Honorable Sidia Jata. He said the same thing, that he was not written to. But by right, at least for transparency purpose, for inclusiveness, at least we should be written to.
So what are you going to do now?
So I heard rumors, since we are not written to, that they are working on it. Probably next week they will release, there will be a press release that the UTJ has a new governing council. So we are waiting on, even though the deadline has passed. But now the staff said, despite the fact that, you know, all these things, 26 was violated, we can still be present until the beginning of the next semester, if nothing happened, or any of the demands, because most of the demands are on the governing council. They are depending on the constitution of the governing council.
So do you feel cheated by the government there? They came and then there was a deadline for this to happen, the dissolution of the governing council, and this never happened. Do you feel cheated in any way?
No, I feel disappointed, not cheated. Yeah, we feel disappointed with the staff, because we were expecting at least a communication that at least 2 days before the deadline, okay, we have gone far to this level, but the governing council still now, we did not hear anything from the office of the president. And the staff said if nothing is done before the 15th of September, before the beginning of the next semester, there will be no semester, because there will be no lectures, rather. The semester will not begin.
So you're going to refuse to work?
Of course, because these are legally binding documents, because we all signed. That means it's legally binding. We don't want chaos. It's election time. That's why we don't even make noise. 26th of July has passed. But we compromise. We are still listening. And then I hope they are working on it according to
Why are you so much against this governing, interim governing council? You've been leading this rebellion in the positive sense of the word, though, since, for a long time now. Why are you so much against this interim governing council of the UTG?
Yeah, I was expecting you say you have been leading this positive change instead of rebellion.
Well, rebellion in the positive sense of the word.
You have been a positive change. Yes, is better.
Positive change. That is subjective. You will have some people on the other side who would say this is not positive change. These people are just wasting people's time. They are troublemakers.
I can tell you, the students, the whole student, they realize that this staff, they are doing this for our purpose. Look at the areas we have recovered from MOAS. You know, $189 million since we came to power, since 2019. Recently, Parliament have approved 134, and MOAS have paid $25 million, altogether 159. So alhamdulillah that all these things have been done. So this is going to be, we have already spoken with the student leader to engage the sub-associations of different schools. They go and assess the campus and then try to see what the university needs. And then the university has no choice other than to buy those materials, because I've already engaged the management, particularly the vice chancellor. So this is a positive change. The governing council that was there was interim. When you bring somebody, it was not appointed based on the act, because normally the chairman of governing council should be appointed by the president through the recommendation of the ministry. But this one was not done like that. It's the minister who appointed him. And the members in the governing council, unfortunately, some of them, they don't know what was going on in the university. They depend on the management. That's why we said we wanted a proactive and dynamic governing council that is going to engage the university instead of depending on the university.
Now, the one person whose name has featured all throughout is the registrar. You came here, you were on my show, you accused him of holding different positions in the UTG. He came here, he also tried to dismiss some of the claims that you made. Now we have seen you have renewed your war with him by writing to the Vice Chancellor saying his term of office has expired, he needs to go, only for him to, through his lawyers, to write and threaten that he is going to take you to court.
Yes, he gave me 3 days, and I waited until after 3 days to show him that you cannot do anything, because, of course, I have written to the Vice Chancellor, because in my letter, I mentioned that since there's no substantive governing council at this moment, you are the chief executive officer of the university, so we are writing to you to engage the registrar, because the condition of service, section 8.5, stated that the position of the registrar and the director of finance, they should be there for a fixed period of time, renewable once. Once. So now he has served his 2 terms, 3 years, 3 years. So there is no way out the registrar can extend his term. They wanted to review the condition of service. We tell them the condition of service cannot be reviewed until and unless the UTG Act bill is enacted. Because right now we don't have a UTG Act. The 1999 is there, but the Tertiary and Higher Education Act has repealed that one. So we have even written today to the Select Committee on Education, so that now they can bring all stakeholders to review that bill and enact it, because it's still there. So unfortunately, his term has ended as a registrar. I don't want to be personal here, but just so you asked me this question. So he has written to me, and then to a private firm, they have written to me already, and then telling me within 3 days, if you don't withdraw your statement and apologize, you have no right to do this. I have the moral and legal right, of course, as a staff leader, to know what is happening at the university. If things goes wrong, then I bring this to the attention of the leaders. But
they are saying your claims are malicious and they are defamatory in nature, and if you don't apologize, so you are saying you are not going to apologize.
I said they gave me 3 days, and I waited for 5 days, and I submitted my letter. So let's see what is going to happen. And in turn, I have replied to that letter, engaging my lawyers, and then in fact, that was a good news. When I saw the letter, I said, this is the end of this old saga, because you cannot threaten somebody. It's against the Uganda Declaration on Academic Freedom and Social Responsibility, which Gambia is a signatory. For you threaten an African intellectual for expressing his or her right. So in this case, he has written, and I have replied, and I gave them 8 days from yesterday. You can start counting from now. If the university did not take any action, the university will be, now the matter will be taken to the Supreme Court to enforce.
So you are going to court?
The implementation of the condition of service. There's no option other than that, because your term has expired. Go to another portfolio. We are not telling you to leave the university. Move to another administrative or academic portfolio. You cannot be there until the rest of your life. The condition of service did not allow you to do that. So you have to be there on a fixed period, renewable once, and that is 3 years. Understand? So if I write to the registrar, for example, and then he writes back threatening me, trying to divert my attention to a private firm, I'm talking about the condition of service, the term limit. Talk about that. But right now, because as a threat, and then he refused to do that.
But he feels violated. That is why he engaged the services of his
No, the condition of service, that is meant to distract me or to silence me. We are not individuals to be silenced. Since 2019, we have been working for change, and you can see, we have almost successfully.
So in all of these things that you are fronting, you have your entire staff behind you.
Yes, we have entire staff. Even those staff who voted no to the strike for staff, now they are with us. And the student, more importantly, even the students, they are with the staff. We are not talking about salary increment. We are talking about structural change and governance. So all our struggle, we all have the right to, the opportunity to stay outside. But we came here. This is our country. We want to struggle and work for the betterment of UTG. But now, as I told you, we have given them 8 days now to act on this. So the Vice Chancellor to engage him through the HR and then to declare his position vacant, the registrar, so that it can be advertised according to the condition of service. Because you cannot stay, he has even stayed there for more than one additional year on top of that expiration date. You are done as a registrar, move to another. Some universities, registrar will be there just for one term.
Now, how have the issue of the Vice Chancellor gone? Because, I mean, he was here, the registrar, and he's saying that you don't have people, Gambians, who are qualified for this job when you look at the qualification.
Do you know how many Gambians are outside? Even in the United States alone, how many professors are there? There are more than...
Full professors?
Full professors.
Gambians?
Gambians, yes, in top universities in the world. Gambian professors. But unfortunately, UTG professors is another question. You put a question mark in front of their qualifications. Some of them, not all. So, because sometimes it's very sad. You see a professor, you go to online, like Google Scholar, you search, you don't see his publications. So this is very sad. I'm not trying to attack any individual here.
Yes.
But I can tell you the position of the Vice Chancellor ends in 15th of September. He told me that he's supposed to go. All right. As I told you initially, that the position of the Vice Chancellor, I'm quoting the condition of service, supposed to be advertised 12 months before the expiration of the incumbent. It was ignored strategically just to impose somebody to act. They waited until 6 weeks. They came and then they advertised. Can you select a Vice Chancellor within 6 weeks? It cannot. So the staff said, no, this cannot happen. We have to follow the book. We can say a legal document for the University of the Gambia. So that was not done. Now our position is, we want from the incumbent to the incumbent. That's why the condition of service provided that long period of time. So now our stand is as staff, collectively, we cannot allow an acting Vice Chancellor. And that's our position. If the VC leaves in 15th of September, we are going to be a university without a Vice Chancellor. Take my words, and the staff are united on this.
You are united on this?
Of course.
But also the one thing that you seem to be united on has to do with a Gambian being given this role and not a foreigner.
No, we did not unite on that. I told you the last time when I came here that personally me, if you bring a Gambian Vice Chancellor and a non-Gambian Vice Chancellor and they are all equal in everything, qualification, experience, exposure, I would prefer the Gambian Vice Chancellor because he cannot be manipulated. If you bring a foreign Vice Chancellor, he can be dictated and then he can be distracted and he can be marginalized. We have seen that for the past 5 years. The Vice Chancellor is a very senior man, and the Act says that the Vice Chancellor should be meeting the Chancellor, who is the President of the country, on regular basis. But when I asked him, he said he has never met the President, the current President, President Barrow, to brief him. So unfortunately, during the graduation, we'll be meeting him on talk about graduation, but to brief him about the ongoing of the university, it seems like he's been banned, indirectly or directly. So this is not done. That's why if you have a dynamic Gambian Vice Chancellor, this thing will not happen. Yes. If you are the Vice Chancellor of the Gambia or UTG, would you expect to be? Would you accept as the most senior person after the President to be manipulated by somebody, your junior? No.
You would not want that.
Yeah. So
your land ministry is also banning, officials, management officials from traveling. What is your opinion on that?
Yes, of course, it has been brought to my attention. So we wrote back to the ministry that because they're supposed to travel to Turkey with other universities, they have to converge in Turkey, in Istanbul with Oxford universities and other universities in the UK, and Comstek also in Pakistan, to discuss and come up with an initiative of this food and nutrition and food technology center at the University of the Gambia.
Yes.
So that is an opportunity for the country. So now he told them that he banned them before they travel. I don't know whether an insider informed the ministry that these people are about to go. Because whenever they want to travel, they need clearance from the ministry. For me, I don't know. I have no idea why they are doing that. And they banned them from traveling without justification. I swear to you, if you do this in Senegal, for example, Cheikh Anta Diop University, you are done. You cannot do that. For me personally, universities should not travel excessively, like what they did before the strike, traveling to Nigeria just for partying purpose, and then they came 2 days, they traveled to Senegal for partying purpose. That is not done. And they travel, including the Director of Finance. What are they going to do there? Just to sign an MOU. But this is a genuine cause. That's why I step in for the interest of the nation. This goes to show that we are not enemies to the management. We appeal to the ministry to do something about this issue.
And also, one thing, the last time I invited you, you told me the UTG is like primary school. That was debunked. The registrar came here, Dr. Taro came here and said, look, the university, their students are good, and Gambians who are products of the university are doing very well in all departments that they are working in. And you are the head of the faculty and staff association, and you are saying that this is a university that is just like primary school. That is what you told me on record.
Lamin, yes, you are right. I'm not saying currently it's like a primary school, but what I mean is
you didn't qualify the last time.
I'm coming. Yes. UTG has graduated a lot of people, including yourself. You are doing well.
Yes.
At Fado Network. So it has graduated a lot of people who have studied rather from in high universities, like top universities in the world, in different countries. University of the Gambia did that. No. It has tried. People have, since the onset, 1999 up to today.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
What I mean by primary school, the structures are not there. UTG is not functioning. The problem of the UTG is the management. When you say it's like a primary school, in reality, of course,
yes,
you know that it's not like a primary school. For example, when they traveled, they did not inform anybody, and we don't know who was acting. You go to the office, you don't find anybody there. Primary school, do they behave like that? That's why I said it was like a primary school because of that action.
But I asked you about quality the last time.
Quality.
And you are speaking in the context of quality.
These particular students,
yes,
university have graduated, they did their effort. A university without a standard library up to today, a university without book
yes,
resources and other things,
yes,
university without campus, we are still struggling. We go and buy our own books, we go to online and search articles and read. And then you graduated, you happen to see yourself in one of the best universities, you did it for yourself. It's not the university because the environment and the infrastructure is not there. So meaning, great people have graduated from this university, not like the university graduated these great people, because the great people made themselves great by doing extra effort, making extra effort to buy books on their own, at their own expenses, and to make further research. And that because you agree with me, the university, no university will graduate good students without a library. We don't have a standard library right now. We have an online library recently launched, but we don't have a campus and we don't have a standard library. If you go to Senegal, their libraries are huge. They have everything for students. So now when you graduate and you see yourself in top universities, it's because as a result of your effort. So that is very important. That's what I said. Like the action they did, primary school is even better. When the principal travels, people know that, okay, the principal is not here, but as a university you travel, people don't know what is happening. You go to the office for signature, you don't find them there.
Yes.
And you call it as the highest institution of learning. And I've mentioned it's the only catalyst for development of the Gambia. People have to take this university seriously.
Yes.
And then try to reform the university for national development.
Dr. Gibba, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. I want us to get into some other time. We'll get into your. I mean, we will still follow this up because I think this is very important in terms of the resolutions, in terms of the demands. You will have to bear with us, okay?
Yeah, but
yes,
just finally,
yes,
as I told you, for the viewers and then to inform the policymakers, I thank everybody who participated towards the suspension of the strike. In academia, we suspend strike. We don't end strike. So the strike is not our mandate. It's not our objective, sorry.
Yes.
And then we love this country. We want this country to be peaceful. But we are appealing to the Chancellor, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, to further engage the stakeholders before the semester begins. Because if anything is pending, especially the Governing Council, and because other demands are all linked with the
yes,
Governing Council, we are all embarking on a sit-down strike again.
The
next semester will not begin, and that is not good for the story. It's not good for the country. Look at the political situation of the country. Election is coming in December. We don't want violence. That's why we are peasants still now. The Governing Council is violent. We should have just get up and say this. So please, in a nutshell, you the journalists, try to engage the university. See the university as the main factor for development. But you people normally you accommodate politicians more than the academics.
Yes. And I think it's important that is why I even brought you today.
Thank you so much.
So most of the time it's about politics. But rest assured, we are going to follow this up.
No
okay?
problem.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gibba. There. We'll take a short break and be right back. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Africa Global presents the new Tulip Gardens. Taft Tulip Gardens is set to comprise service plots in sizes ranging from 220 to 570 meters square. Deposit as low as $83,600 is only an 18-month interest-free payment plan with only 20% deposit on the service plots. Please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333.